earlier during the brunch time, and this is coming from the stable of Omoyele Sowore, who has now challenged the supposed Southeast political leaders, leaders of thought, that it is so obvious, right, that, thank you. So it is so obvious that holding Nnamdi Kanu is no longer about anything they claim he did. It is pure, what do you call it? It is a pure disregard for what you can call fear trial, fear hearing, and a treatment that is pretty much similar to what even led to the agitation for Biafra in the first place. So we are going to continue from that this hour. So please, after reading the caption of the broadcast, read the description as well. Like it, share it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, your frenemies, and tell them to join us. Maiyegun is live. This morning, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, appeared in court to probably see the unsealed report of the Nigerian Medical Association. Now, I don't want to take you back to how we got here, like the whole repetition, right? I could do that some other time in different circumstances, right? But this particular one is the continuation of what many have already judged and even like generally acknowledged as not prosecution, but persecution. So you have someone that you said has committed a crime. Your court said the way and manner you kidnapped him and brought him to Nigeria was wrong. That automatically delegitimized any effort of trying to try him in Nigerian court. But they insisted. The court said he should be released. No, they demanded to keep him. Now they have been using the same old tactics, which is to continue to delay the court, adjourn, and adjourn. Why were you adjourning again when 8 days given to this Nigeria Medical Association, right, was to report back after examining Nnamdi Kanu, which they did, and it was reported that they have submitted this report. Then again, the rotten, corrupted system somehow compromised that. Everybody appeared in court today only to realize that, oh yeah, the enemy didn't file the report. Like, what the heck? Why then did you actually call the court today? So they adjourn again. So this style is one of the reasons why Omoyele Sowore, who has been very, very consistent when it comes to this treatment of Nnamdi Kanu. So he's made proposals severally. He's told people, especially the IPOB members, the Igbos, that the what do you call it? The best form of defense is attack. So if you occupy the seat of power in your sizable, like largest numbers, right? Whatever it is that they are cooking, planning, or been doing already, you have a chance of forcing their hands because they won't do it. The law won't do it. The court can't do it. Do you understand? So you have to possibly adopt the we're laughing with a kind of a thing, right? However, a lot of people are also somebody like myself, a lot of us are convinced the roles being played by the supposed political elite of Eastern Nigeria during the time that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, before his abduction the second time, right? And then prior to the first one as well, or should I say after the first one, right? So they realized this influence. And honestly speaking, if you are around that time, Nnamdi Kanu's influence was pretty much intimidating, even for those who claim to have all the power, the security, the rest. They dreaded him so much that they felt like if he wasn't tamed, he had that kind of like power to order for their execution. All he has to do is just to give the order and say, yeah, do it. That's how much they dreaded him. So they ran to Bokuwari for cover, proscribed IPOB, So those who are behind the killings of the Igbos, those who are behind the proscription of IPOB, those who are sponsoring most of the propaganda that a lot of you are now very much used to today, they are more than 80% Igbos, Igbo politicians. And that is why the way other people sort of like, without comparison, okay, without having to compare them, all right? When you see uh, that of our own Oloye Sunday Igbo, you can still tell, even as much as the Yoruba governors were pretty much like neither here nor there, but they were still using their position to advocate for Igbo. Even Igbo himself admitted to that. So simply put, that somehow, right, behind the scene, you could still see the people within the Yoruba land to pull this or that, and Igbo is, partially free today than Nnamdi Kanu. Now, in that same breath, by the way, we have seen the Ohaneze Ndigbo visited Bokwari several times. We have seen some Igbo governors claimed to have been in touch with Bokwari at the time, and nothing happened. Even when the trial started, the fake trial, to what it got to at the time, majority of them, right, automatically just like withdrawn. And somehow we believe that people like Devulumai, Oblesus Odingba, even Wike, right, are among those who are pulling the levers to ensure that no Nnamdi Kanu should not be released, right? So if the Igbo governors, like Sowore is proposing right now, Igbo governors, lawmakers, some of them, I won't say all of them, but I have seen the representative of his constituency who has made several appearances, attended court cases, tried it on several forums to push for his release. But Sowore is proposing something different. Not so different, but yeah, different. Because according to him, holding Nnamdi Kanu this long, it's no longer about what they told you. It's no longer about all of the media paid propagandas and lies. And yet, none of those things they have told you is presented in their courts as evidence against him, even in their own case. For those of us who have been monitoring that, right? So in everything that this guy is presented as why they are holding Nnamdi Kanu, right? None of them indicated that the politically sponsored insecurity in the eastern part of Nigeria is linked to him. None of their court case or charges, or those bogus ones, none of them stated that Nnamdi Kanu is linked to anything over there. You get me now? So, but they continue to hold him. So Sowore is proposing that, I'll read it to you. He said, I will set aside my differences with some politicians for one cause. I challenge every politician or person of good conscience from the southeast who says they want Nnamdi Kanu released to stop the rhetoric. Time for action is now. Let's march to Assholerock Villa. Every governor, senator, member of the house, traditional ruler, priest, Eze, Igbo person, and every Nigerian who believes in Kanu's freedom, come out and do more than talk. I will lead this peaceful march to the Assholerock. No more empty noise. Let Soludo, Abaribe, Oti, Obi, and all others who claim to care, that's Sowore now, who claim to care, step up and join us in person. We go together peacefully, legally, and visibly to demand justice and an end to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's persecution. This is not a trial, it is persecution. Trial is when they are able to present clear accusations, right? Charges. And then when they present their witnesses, you have every right to confront the person who wants to witness like fake witnesses against you. You have the right, to ask them questions, but no, they won't want that to happen. And hush. Even in their own court, they lost. So they had to order for a retrial. Let's do it again. And this time around, all the charges that they initially brought against him, they dropped all of that, cooked another one. And this another one, right? Trumped up as it is, they won't come to court. They want court adjournment every now and then. And I know some of you actually hated Nnamdi Kanu so much that you wanted them to just kill him, right? So if they just want to kill him, they shouldn't pretend that they're having a court case. That they should do and come and tell everyone that, okay, we've killed him. You get what I mean now? So even you that want them to kill him, they have no, they don't even have any, what do you call it? Any evidence, right? To send, to give him a community service sentence, right? But they say, okay, man, we don't know what to sentence you for. But you know something, the way you spoke to the judge in one of those trials, right? It was unethical, it's disrespectful. So because of that, I'm going to convict you to 200 hours community service. Like these guys couldn't bring anything that will convict Nnamdi Kanu for a community service punishment, not to talk of anything to hang him or kill him. Your criminal politicians who harmed their drug-addicted political options to push the insecurity level in the eastern part of Nigeria to what you have witnessed, even with them coming out to confess it. They couldn't go to their court and present it and say, here is the evidence, Nnamdi Kanu, we have this evidence against him. In their own court. They are relying on broadcasts like what I'm doing right now. It's just like somebody like me in the future, right? They kidnap me. I know I'm not worthy. I don't worth anything like that anyway, but I'm just saying that somebody like me now being kidnapped in the future and they say the reason why we want you to jail him or we want you to kill him is because he's been making videos and abusing our leaders and he's been talking things. He wanted people to fight their leaders. He wanted to cause problem in this place. I said, okay, where are the evidence of how he planned to do all of this, to attack your president, to cause unrest in your country? Where are the evidence? Go and watch his YouTube videos 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 16 years ago, and all of that stuff. Say, but no, we're talking about now. What did he do? What has he done? Bring the evidence. Nothing. But their media is washed, right, with all kinds of lies that in reality you expect them to take all of those things to their own courts. It's your court. You can start the case in a week and end it in a week. The whole thing they are doing to Nnamdi Kanu, are you with me? They can start the case on Monday and give judgment by Friday. And they can appeal that judgment the following week, right? And get judgment before the weekend. And if they have to go to Supreme Court in 3 months, they can do all these things they are doing to Nnamdi Kanu and conclude it. And everybody goes their separate ways. But the intention is not to try Nnamdi Kanu. It is to persecute him. It is to try and see that maybe if we crush him, right, we will discourage people, not just the Igbos, even from other parts of Nigeria. Because Nnamdi Kanu has become more or less like a contagion, right, where everybody was beginning to ask the question of Nigeria, the question about their existence and being part of Nigeria. A lot of people are beginning to say, you know what, that's true. This contraption is not made for us. Now, if that spirit continued in their mind, if Nnamdi Kanu is free, there is a chance that in 10 years' time, you may have more than 6-7 regions of Nigeria demanding for the breakup of Nigeria. Something they believe that by doing this, they will discourage anybody who wants to think of but they are wrong. There's something that led to all of this: the marginalization, the corruption, the impunity, the nepotism, the tribalism, the ethnicism, the religionism, all these things weaponized by criminal politicians in Nigeria, which has worked against the interest of the majority of Nigerians. Yeah. So as long as these things exist, continue to exist, there will be agitation for one thing or another. There are those that will pick up guns and say, you know what, give us a share of our resources or nobody takes our resources. There will be others that will kind of pick up guns and say, you know what, our own share is to, all kind of things will happen. If this marginalization, this corruption, this poverty continues, and they continue to romance it and continue to manage it, Of course, there will be more, even after Nnamdi Kanu. How about they address what it is? Because I remember in June, when Omoyele Sowore tried to actually go to the one of the trial, and the DSS did all they could to stop him from gaining entrance, even though he himself had a case later that day in that same court. No, they won't let him get in, but he still said this in case, what do you call it? Oh, hang on. Did I even put that up? Okay, give me a sec. Coming.
We should let you know. Nobody has asked you, nobody has asked you to get anything from any person. Our duty, section 4 is very clear. Protection of lives and property. Apprehension of offender. Now, when the man who is tasked with the responsibility of protecting turns out to be the offender, I do not want the double offense. Please go and tell the personnel. Nobody has asked you to serve phones. At a proper standpoint, what are you asked to look for? Look for prohibited items, weapons, drugs. Such vehicles in a very cautious and polite manner without infringing on the rights of Nigerians. But the situation when you want to say that who's your guy? I'll show you who I am. Do you know who I am? Who are you? We will not allow you make the people rise regulations. Rather, we will come after you. We have pleaded, we have told everything directives, but if you choose to be recalcitrant, that you will not obey simple instructions, that you should do your work in a very professional manner, then we bring the books against you. Their laws.
Sorry about that. I'll come back to that one. That's a commissioner of police somewhere discussing the professionalism of their police in searching the people and at the same time carrying out the order of their illegal general of police, Igbo. Sowore, sometimes in June, just at the bogus retrial of Nnamdi Kanu in June, he had this to say.
Very excited to be here as always, even though as usual the DSS prevented me from entering the courtroom. But I'm a living witness to history. The first time my Mazi was abducted from Kenya and brought here, I was in court to warn them that, in fact, I was one of the few people that came here as soon as they did their kangaroo arraignment, that this case is not going anywhere and that there's no way, it doesn't matter how long it takes, it's going to end up the way it started, as nothing, and it will end up as nothing. Because there's nothing that can stand up on nothing. The foundation of this was malice. It was the suppression of a section of Nigerian people and the violation of the fundamental right of a Nigerian British citizen who was abducted from another country, brought here without due process and detained indefinitely. Even presented from having open and fair trial, which we have seen all over the time. As a matter of fact, today we already had an altercation with the DSS preventing people from moving around here. But you know, they started by blocking everywhere. Now they are tired, they can't even block half of the road because you cannot stop an idea whose time has come. And this is what we have won them. And I'm glad that they are reaching the dead end that we have predicted. The dead end is that there will be a no case submission. In fact, I would have an issue with the lawyers if I were to be involved, because there's no need to even file a no case submission in a case that never existed in the first place. But you have to do your own legal work. And let me use this opportunity to also appreciate all the lawyers and all the people who have stood in solidarity with Nnamdi Kanu. I said it that if I'm the last person that will stand with him, I'll stand with him. And mine is not political. Yes. In fact, the most unpopular political decision to take in Nigeria is to stand with Nnamdi Kanu. So if you want to win election, you know who to stand with, which is the federal government.
Yes.
But I'm not doing this to win election. I'm doing it for the freedom of our people everywhere we might find ourselves. And I believe that if Nigeria is going to become one, it has to be on the basis of justice. You cannot be suppressing a section just as the right to flourish and think that you can go home to rest. And you have seen it now. Even those people who never believed Nnamdi Kanu a few years ago, they have seen it with what the Fulani herdsmen are doing, killing hundreds of people. They are doing it also in the southeast. They killed in Ebonyi.